Welcome back to the Palm Beach Skate Zone as the Lynn Fighting Knights finally returning home here to take on the Florida Atlantic Owls. It'll close out a home-and-home back-to-back weekend series. My name's Colby Smith, and again, here in Lake Worth, the Owls now 14-2-1 after a huge win over this Lynn Fighting Knights team yesterday. Final score was 15-2. Only goals for Lynn were special teams goals, and that's something positive you got to take away from last night. 14 seconds left in the second period. Matthew Dyduck getting his fourth goal of the season. Jadson Dowdy assisting it. That was the power play goal. And 12:32 into the second, Luca Vicino getting back in the score column for the first time in 2 games. His 10th goal of the season, and Benjamin Merrill takes the assist on that shorty. Lynn's going to be very short-handed tonight in terms of scratches and some suspension still out. They're now 9-9-1 after the loss last night. But this team knows what it takes to get the job done, knows what it takes to bring in those victories. I mean, they just won 2 overtime games last week. And yes, that was against FAU's D3 team, but the win formula is simple. You get to the front of the net, you score goals. I mean, I don't want to stand up here and fire off hockey cliche after hockey cliche, but this Lynn team is the same group that won 405 to open their season way back when. And yeah, it's been a while since then, but this team has had success this year, has been able to put together the victories when it matters. And so hopefully they're able to do that against this loaded Owls team. FAU, this will be their 18th game, 10th on the road. They're 7-1-1 away from home, 7-1 at home. And again, 14-2-1, as I said already, 29 points overall. And Lynn, 9-9-1, 20 points. This is their 20th game, 6th at home. And at home, they are 3-1-1, whereas they're just 6-8 on the road. The starting goalie matchup, we'll talk more about it as we approach puck drop, but Rocco Bruno going to get the net for the Owls today after Brian Brady started yesterday. And on the other side, Lynn going to turn to Brody Ditson for the second consecutive game. But we're going to start approaching starting lineup national anthem time here in the Palm Beach Skate Zone. So we're going to turn things on over here to in-house PA and get you ready for puck drop here between the Owls and Fighting Knights for Game 3 of 3 in their season series.
National
time to play some hockey here at the Palm Beach Skate Zone in Lake Worth. Welcome back as our pregame has wrapped up. Starting lineups, national anthem in the books. And it is just about time for puck drop here between the Florida Atlantic Owls and your Lynn Fighting Knights. It's the third time these two teams have met up this year. They met up once earlier this season right here in the Palm Beach Skate Zone. It was back on Friday, October the 25th. 10-4 was the final score in favor of the Owls. And, of course, last night we already touched on that game. We'll talk more about the score and summary on the Owls side as we roll throughout the game. But looking around at things, Brian Brady actually going to get the last-minute change to be the starting goaltender for Florida Atlantic. Big leader for this group is just a freshman. He wore a C for the Columbia Infantry in the USPHL Premier Division last year. Spent 5 years bouncing between the USP Prem and USPHL Elite. He's 4-0 on the season, back in between the pipes for the Owls. Ditson's back there for Lynn, and the Fighting Knights with plenty of guys out, going to send their top group out here. Sara loses the draw to Theander, and we are underway in the first period here between FAU and Lynn. Back in defensive ice, Michael Hughes going to play it up to Dyduck, who does have points in 3 straight games. That one going to clip on in behind the Owls' goal. FAU is going right to left across your YouTube screen in this first period of play, and Lynn going from left to right. It's FAU out there in the blue tops with the red trim and the white numbers as the stretch feeds. Seafelt right into the glove of Brody Ditson. Going to halt play 30 seconds in. But as I was saying, Lynn out there in those gray tops with the blue letters and white trim. Draw going to be to the right of Ditson here in the offensive zone for FAU. Theander taking the draw against Luca Vicino as Lynn already making some changes to their group on the ice. Theander wedged back out beyond the circle, forced off the near boards. Vicino in there to scoop it up, trying to wedge it out of the zone. Going to toss it on the backhand across center, and David Israel back to chase. He'll go D to D, and now this one shipped up to their captain. In over the line, Biller plays it around the net. Seafelt to the near side corner. Theander threw it wide. He was trying to go inside that left post. Now Vasilev going to knife it down behind. Near side corner, the Fighting Knights trying to get there. Constant tipped it as Vicino going to circle the cage. Played it on over to Mark Andre as this one stretched up ice. Clipped Constant stick, so it should not be an icing. And yes, indeed, they'll wave it off. Israel one-hands it on over. Now a quick give and go with Vasilev. Israel working it through the trapezoid. He did hit the 200 career point mark as an FAU Owl earlier this season. Came back in November as Constant forces a steal. Back to the far circle, gives it away. Behind the net, Ryan Brockett going to drub it up to Israel. And now forced through neutral. Bosser into the zone, weaves to the high slot. Tossed off, pad save as Ditson going to steer it to the corner. 18:20 to go in this first period. Still looking for our first shot for the Lynn side of things as Oliveri holds it inside the blue line and now going to go on the backhand with it behind the goal line. Andre gets tied up in the far corner. Brady Brosser going to work the edge with it. Noche tips this one as he got it to the center line. FAU quickly on it, but Vicino, with some help from his friends, going to force a steal. Left behind the net, quickly on back there, Lawrence Hansen into the corner. And Ditson going to come way out of his net to cover that one with 17:53 to go. Left that blue paint in its entirety and jumped on top of it to hold the play. So the face-off for FAU is going to be here in the offensive zone. Took them less than 2 minutes to cash in last night, so definitely already starting better on the Lynn defensive side of things. Had a lot to talk about certainly as Esposito going to get on it in the corner. Rams off to his left side, and now bullet to pass to Ian Urim. Lynn will talk about the scratches here at the net's whistle as Noche trying to work the far boards. Quickly shot up past the line by Sam Sheffield all the way down in, and that will be an icing with 17:31 to go. Joseph Responte and Tristan Falseno both scratched tonight for Lynn, so Ditson the only goalie who is active and, of course, in between the pipes for the second consecutive night. Quinn Judge, Tyler Hickey both out. Mason Moray, Michael Prince, Jared Scopatolo, Ryan Keel all suspended. And Anthony DeFalco, Matt Fromer, and Blake Berger also out for Lynn tonight. Is in the circle. Urim going to get tied up. Quickly gets past Sheffield's stick. Now up through the air. Going to bounce in the corner. Esposito left it through his legs on a nice little drop off. Valencia now gives it away in the high slot. Trying to connect in front with Goldberg. FAU now back on it in the near corner. Littman hits the crossbar and goes up out of play. So the Owls continuing to pepper Brody Ditson here early. Ditson, a freshman for this Lynn team, played last year for the Long Island Arrows 18U AAA squad. Only played 8 games, was 4-4 with a 287 goals against and a 918 save percentage. His face off to his right side. Goldberg unable to win that one as Lynn trying to work the wall. Quickly Cotter towards the front of the net. Clips off the skate. Hughes going to have to jump right back up as now Lynn going to lead the charges the other way. It's Asaro back through center. Trying to feed one over to Dida. Can't settle it down off the wall and the Owls regain possession. Merrill on the foreskate. There's a quick stretch feed going to come out the other way. Littman into the zone far side. Dropped off. Cotter beyond the left wing circle in the hash marks. Tips the stick of Michael Hughes, and now this one going to chink the glass. Trying to connect with Littman up top. It's dropped down by Murphy. Asaro got a piece. Cotter off the pad. Rebound goes in. Littman right there on the doorstep. Going to put it up and past Ditson, and it's 1-0 FAU. Time on it will be 3:36, and that'll be Littman's 12th goal of the season. He did get a goal in the second period last night, and he's now scored in 3 consecutive games as Harshaw going to win it right on bat for the Owls. We'll see who they give the assist to there as Murphy going to lead a pass out of the zone. Hits the skates of Dyduck and quickly back on in. Stable. Murphy now back to the left circle. Buried that one from deep out. And it's 2-0. Goals will be just 15 seconds apart. And that'll be Murphy's 8th of the season. So the Fighting Knights quickly going to have to play out of a 2-goal hole as we'll bring the faceoff back to center. Vecino hacking and whacking for this one. Finally Constant going to steer it to the defense. Andre can't hold on, right to the front. Left padded in. There's 3 in a row as the Owls tripling the advantage. 3 goals in 24 seconds. That'll be Declan Contany with his first of the season. And so now the Fighting Knights having a long conversation on their bench before coming back out to the ice. Vecino right back to center. Take the draw here against Justin Harshaw. Quickly the whistle blows. Vecino to his right as Constant leaves it back for the defense. Off the board, Stable picks it off yet again. Back of the circle, and now in the corner, Urim going to throw a shoulder. Vecino trying to drub this one out of there. Finally, Urim gets it out deep. Murphy going to go side, receives it back. Constant got a piece though. Quickly forked ahead by Machavi. As it'll clear around the net. And this one dumped up out of play by Urim. And so that'll stop play. 15:35 to go in this first period. This FAU Owls team, you can tell time and time again why this group has been so successful year in and year out. They have 2 consecutive trips to AAU National Championships. And they've actually been there for 3 of the last 4 years. As this one rolling at the line, Israel got a touch on it. Sheffield going to race on into the zone. Fires one over the net. As you can hear that one chink loud and clear against the glass. Esposito with a touch on it. Sheffield on in there. Behind the net racing for it. Vasilev. Quick cover up by Brian Brady. And Lynn won't even get an opportunity for a shot there. Brady had 250 goals against and a 925 save percentage. One of the goals he allowed last night, a fluky bounce, and He's been really good back there for the FAU Owls this year. Can't fault him in any way. Can see why he was so successful in his time in the USP. Is the draw to his right, Theander going against Sheffield here. Noche quickly jumped on in there off the draw. Again, a handful of suspensions for Lynn, still leaving this group short-handed. Is coming on Seafelt, tried to fire a drop pass back. Now Seafelt right back on it, beyond the circle, gets tied up in front. Sheffield can't get a piece. This one got away from his stick. Now on the blue line, Vasilev fired to the front. Ditson going to paddleboard it to his right. Now side to side behind the net. 14:44 to go. Past Sheffield it goes. Here's Israel left ad. Seafelt quickly forced the other way. Now Theander working right side of the net. Takes it around to the far side. Out to the point. Vasilev. Clips a leg. Hughes dumped around. Now this one floated up to the ceiling. And Towns Haley freezes play just like that. Haley, one of just two of the leadership member groups out here on the ice tonight. As we already said, Mason Moray, the junior, suspended for another game here today. And this Lynn group, after tonight, going to get an opportunity to get everybody back on the ice together for just about 2 weeks and get everybody firing on all cylinders before they close out their regular season back here at Skate Zone. February 7th and 8th. It'll be a Friday, Saturday against Tampa. Is Ditson going to swat and cover? Halting the play. It will be a big weekend for the program. Both games will be 8 p.m. putt drops. Saturday the 8th will be senior night, so make sure you come on out here, join us for those two games. Big senior core to honor for Lynn, including the captain in Vicino, as the Owls getting another draw win. Held inside the zone, Israel. Now worked back the other way by Brockett. Oliveri goes on the backhand, trying to find Giorgino. Randall up through the air. Now Dyduck going to go to his left with it. Stretched out, Olivero off the wall. Randall now fed through to the middle. Beiser skates in. Fired one from deep off a leg. Picked up by Randall. He goes down to a knee. And the Fighting Knights able to regarner possession. It looks like we will get a penalty, though, coming up with 13:43 to go. It'll be the first one of the game. As it'll go on Matthew Dyduck, and it'll be 2 minutes for holding. And so we'll get an opportunity to see this Owls power play for the first time tonight. Cashed in on 4 of 6 opportunities yesterday in the game down at the Florida Panthers' new practice facility. Israel drifting in the high slot, drubbed over, fired over the net that time by Biller. Picked up Israel, long one-timer. Where did that one go? It's held by Brody Ditson somehow. Looked like Ditson didn't even know where it had gone. He was kind of looking right, looking left, even looking high. Don't know how it would fall from the ceiling at him, but he holds on to it. And so 15 seconds have already run off the penalty, and now the draw shifts over to the far side to his left. Sheffield able to win that draw behind him, and now the Fighting Knights going to race for it, trying to attempt to clear. In the corner, Diller darts right of the goal. Quickly poke-checked away by Sheffield to the boards. Littman left it back, Diller side to side. That one got tipped, trying to go on through to the net. Quickly off the top of the half wall to the blue line here. Diller, near side circle. Ditson dives down, puck came loose, and somehow FAU couldn't get an opportunity in. Littman in the high slot, tries to go for the backhander, wedged down to the zone by Sheffield, and the Fighting Knights able to get a couple of bodies off with 1:08 left to go in their PK. 3-0 they trail FAU in this first period on a Saturday night here late in January. Israel pulls up in the far circle. Put it past Andre out to the line. Cotter, long one-timer, got blocked. And now to the corner, Evan Roca trying to clear out. Right in the draw circle, knifed by Noche out the other way. Setting up right of the goal here, it's Brian Brady. 40 now to go in the FAU power play. First penalty of the game was a holding call on Dyduck as Israel crosses center. Weaving to the right side, Giorgino was careful not to get the offside call. Former Hershey Cub, he also played in the USP Prem for a couple of years. Off the top of the wall, comes back out through neutral and quickly in defensive ice. Brady Browser going to circle the cage. He'll race up the other way. Crossing center in offensive territory. Back of the circle, weaving on through. Missed the net right side. And Ditson caught that one as he came out of the net. Bowser to Randall. Spun back out to Bowser. As the penalty on Dyduck and expire. And Lynn's 1-for-1 on the PK to start. As Ditson covers up. And play gets halted. So that'll leave 11:39 to go in this first period. And we want to take a moment here where we have the opportunity to thank all of Lynn Ice Hockey's great sponsors: Adidas, Goldie's Game, Florida Panthers, Match Grill, Wawa, Publix, Pizza Rots, Bauer, Chick-fil-A, Boca Raton, the Captains, Howie's Hockey Tape, Signables, Pure Hockey, 24/7 Hotel Management, Team Cotillion, BarkBots, Let's Roam, and Bid Brothers and Bid Sisters of Palm Beach County. Couldn't do what we do here at the Palm Beach Skate Zone and for the community of Boca Raton without each and every one of you, so we really appreciate you taking the time, opportunity, and resources to sponsor our season. Stable back to the near side circle, comes on down behind the goal line, springs up. Contene, who's already scored in this game, got the third of the scoring spree there, is in 24 seconds. FAU scored 3 goals if you're just tuning in to join us from 3:36 to the 4-minute mark. Murphy played cross rink. Back to the far side circle. Fired off the pad. Great kick save. Ditson 2 saves there as he kicked once and then again. And this one cleared all the way down 200 feet and will be an icing with 10:45 to go. We talked about what's ahead for Lynn already. After tonight, FAU going to have a huge series next week at Middle Tennessee up at Ford Ice Center. Friday night they'll play at 9:45 Eastern Time, and then Saturday they'll play at 6:30 Eastern Time. Middle Tennessee now ranked 5th in the AAU College Hockey South rankings, and this FAU team is 2nd, of course, as Murphy going to drift on left, deked out Constant. Now past Pacino at goals, rolls wide to the right post. Behind the net, quickly jammed in, 5-hole on the doorstep, and it'll be a 4-0 lead. Time on it's going to be 9:25. And it'll be Christian Cotter's 2nd of the weekend and 4th of the year. So face-off, going to come back to center. Asaro against Cotter. And Cotter able to win it to his left side. Quickly along the boards, Olivero going to fire it back behind him. Over the line comes Brockett, back to the far side circle. Long one off the shoulder. As Ditson able to keep it out. Olivero picking up his own rebound, and Ditson holds in the breadbasket with 10:17 to go. Ditson going to be battle tested tonight and see a lot of rubber. Saw 78 shots a night ago. And most of the time when you make 60-plus saves, or I should say anytime you have to make 60-plus saves, you should get a victory. But not in the case of last night. This Lynn team with work to do. Plenty of hockey still to be played tonight, though. Can climb this mountain. Goldberg left up through center past Asaro. Back of the circle, steered off the right pad. Quickly in the corner, Asaro goes down. Now Olivero working the line. Weave through to the middle, off Ditson, it flies to that far corner. Asaro the other way, going to cross through neutral, back in offensive territory, dodges a hit. Behind the net comes Brockett as he takes some time with now more than half of this first period in the books. Big hit along the wall, skated the other way by the guys in blue and red. Olivero in on sides, drop feed back, Littman on the doorstep, kicked away. Near side, it's Leon Byler. Works through the trapezoid. Now Littman races off to the corner, fired off the left pad. Ditson using all of his equipment here in this first period. Is that one going to hit a skate? Littman back on Israel's tape. Beyond the right side circle, in! One-time goal for David Israel from deep out, and it's 5-zip. Second of the game and 11th of the season for David Israel. And that's now his 6th goal in the season series against Lynn as well. Face off back to center. Theander. Here's Biller coming in. Back of the right side circle. Got away from Urim quickly. Nobody was there for a tip. Out at the line, Vasilev. This FAU team plays such an up-tempo game, that things happen all so fast. Things can just kind of change on a dime. For 1 second can be out at the blue line, and the next second, literally, the puck can be in the back of the net. Face-off going to be to Ditson's left side. Here in offensive ground for the Owls. Theander tipped it off on down to the corner. Got away from Sheffield. It's Roca. Saucered this one, trying to get it out of the zone. Vasilev turns and shoots it in. And now left side of the goal, Roca played near corner. Big slap hit along the wall, jumps over Israel's stick beyond red. Biller going to leave it back to his defense. And Lynn still with just 2 shots in his first period so far. Israel stretched out to neutral. Theander couldn't settle off his skate. Vasilev going to roll on backwards. As he'll put it up on the backhand, out to neutral. Coming on into the zone is Biller, up and out of play, leaving 8:13 left. The FAU D3 team that Lynn beat last week, both of those games went the distance and then some. 6-5 in OT, 3-2 in OT. And the FAU Owls D3 squad now 10-5. 3 of those losses are coming to D2 teams, including, of course, those 2 to Lynn. They actually had a split with the University of Tampa D2 earlier this season. Who's going to be here to see Lynn on the 7th and 8th. Dowdy back to the near circle. Couldn't get the centering feed through as it got blocked. Giorgino off the glass. Dropped on down. Beiser back to the right side circle. Cuts to the high slot. Fed on over. Katin wouldn't go. Ditson stretched out and said no to it as Giorgino left out to the line. Murphy drifting in the high slot, fired it wide of Giorgino's stick. Now in the corner, Giorgino put back around. First one to it going to be Valencia as he can't clear it. Murphy hand over hand, off Bozer's stick. Now again loose on the far side, 7:25 to go here in period 1. Murphy at the blue line. Drops one off. Beiser can't get there. Valencia with a quick touch on this one. Dowdy, Valencia both jumping in there, and Valencia couldn't settle it as Beiser going to race on backwards. He's a drop pass to his defense, now working the wall. Murphy going to come the other way over center. Bat beyond the left wing circle, a little spinorama play. Fed to the front, nobody was there. Quickly Bowser going to weave on left. Takes a hit to the bat from Dowdy. In the corner, behind the net, Jet Murphy. Is Brockett going to receive at the line. Quick kick off the skate of Machavina. And now the Owls hit the reset button with 6:38 to go. Murphy set it back on a swivel. Nobody was there. So Constant going to take his time, brings it over the line. Into offensive territory, Fighting Knights playing dump and chase. As he'll throw a hit behind the net. Stolen aside by Asaro. Now out to the blue line. Asaro can't stay with it in the corner. And now the Owls pick right back up as here they come the other way. Katanin into the zone. Back of the near circle. Drop feed. Got blocked as Harshaw was trying to fire a bullet on net. Asaro brought over center. Constant waltzing around in the corner. Receives off the boards. Looking around to get it to the front. 5:53 to go here in period number 1. 5-0 is the score in favor of FAU. Harshaw in on sides. Deke around, move through his legs. Circles the cage, left out off Ditson's pads and now swatted down. Long one, just wide of the net. And nobody knew where that puck had gone. This one finally going to be cleared though. And it'll be another icing with 5:29 to go. So the Lynn Fighting Knights continuing, try to find some light here in this first period. Been so hard to get rushes that have found continuity into the offensive zone. The Owls are just jamming up the play 200 feet right now. Winning out the size game, winning out all those loose putt battles. Is Cotier going to get back to it. Circles the net, trying to generate some speed. Tosses it off to his left. Beyond the left side circle. Now right to the front, gets picked off. Put the other way by Esposito. Is Asaro beyond the far side circle. Right to the front, gloved in by Brian Brady. That's what I'm saying about not finding the continuity. When you get a goaltender who's just going to freeze everything like that comes his way, doesn't give you many rebound opportunities or looks to get some jam plays in front of the net. So the draw going to be Brady's right side here in offensive territory for Lynn. And that one wouldn't be won by Sheffield. Jammed up off the ceiling. So we'll do it again. Once again, right side of Brady. Sheffield gets some help to get it to the wall. Comes free, now jammed towards the net. Quickly off the glass, gets out of the zone. Is back to chase it, going to be in Europe. Left side of his net, blows a tire. Jamming for is Hunter Lippman. Worked around up the middle. Israel in the high slot. Off Ditson's glove. Israel already looking for the hat trick in this first period as he's got 2 on the frame. Coming at 4 minutes exactly and 10:51 to this point. So it's certainly been a few minutes since the last FAU goal. As Noche going to throw a hard hit left to the goal. Quickly stolen out. Cotter stretched up ice. Now beyond the left circle on the doorstep. Taking some time. Putt free. Nobody knew where it had gone. And now Luca Vicino going to grab it as he'll kill some time. Cut in the other way. Fired. Brady going to hold right on the chest with 3:56 to go. Huge crowd coming out here this weekend for the Battle of Boca Raton. Love to see all the Lynn faithful in the crowd and so many people from FAU making the trek here to Skate Zone as well tonight. We love it when we can get a packed place here for these players. Die Duck along the boards. Theander as Dowdy turns and shoots and missed the cage. Slashing and whacking. Vicino couldn't settle it. Here's Murphy coming in on sides. Biller back of the circle. Fired off the pads. And now to the corner. It's put aside by Michael Hughes. Bounced up through the air. Quick cover here with 3:30 to go in the period. As Ditson, that's about the only time Lynn able to stop the clock on the defensive end. Swallowing up those putts that come right to the net front. So the draw to his left side. As Theander can't get that draw win for the Owls. Behind the net, quickly corralled, forced out. Dowdy on the far side, left it to Vicino over center, cuts into the zone, weaves around a left defender. Brady kicked it out of there. I almost said Brady. Theander brought over center, now back on in. Beyond the left circle to the high slot here. Dumped down to the corner, left on the doorstep and couldn't get a shot off. Now Machavina from deep and a quick cover as Ditson once again stopping the play. Looks like we are going to get a penalty coming up. Brady was going off, ready to skate to the bench. As it is going to be Lynn, who's short-handed. It'll be Vicino for a hooking. And so we'll see the Owls power play for the second time already here in this opening period. Started 0 for 1 as they didn't cash in their first go-around. Randall wins the draw back out. Bowser hand over hand, played cross rink. Now waiting, Murphy left it behind him. No let feed, gonna come left to the goal. Quick spun around by Ziemba. Forked the other way by Noche, and the Owls come back to chase after with 2:40 to play in this first period. Hand over hand, the Owls going to generate some speed. This one, it's Murphy, races in, trying to feed through to the middle and couldn't get there. Quickly, Sam Sheffield. As Murphy works the far side boards. Drop back behind him. As it's grabbed here by Hansen, and now out to the line yet again. Bowser deets around Towns Haley, comes to the net, couldn't get a shot off on the great stick maneuver. Bowser now to the corner. Theander played down low. Working from the back out as this FAU power play. Down off the skate, right to the doorstep. Quick one-touch. Bowser threw off the defender. Shot block there, going to go to Evan Roca. Bowser sprays up ice at the blue line, works the wall. Bowser forced to the front, and they score. Waiting on that left post. Ditson had no shot. It'll be 6-zip. The goal will be DJ Randall's 7th of the season. And first against Lynn. Time on it will be 18-19. As Contanine off the draw win. Going to turn and shoot it around the cage. 95 seconds to go here in period one. Asaro in the circle. Quick spin play. Is that one off the top of the wall? Randall behind the net. Quick give and go bash around. Stable near side corner. Got past the stick of Constant. Now in the high slot. Brought the other way. Asaro crosses center. Takes a hit to the glass. 1:05 to go. And they never wiped the penalty off the board, so finally it's going to expire up there. But FAU are already scoring a moment ago. Contanine trying to deke around Asaro with under a minute to go in the period. Constant was waiting for a one-time opportunity. Lynn having a hard time getting looks on Brady in this first period as Stable leads the rushes in. Long one, and Brady going to watch as Ditson comes up with one on the other end. Stable put it right to the Lynn crest on Brody Ditson's jersey. So the draw are going to be to Ditson's right side here in the offensive zone for FAU. Initially they were saying left, but they switched their mind last second, and you can do that. Contanine going to take it. Tried to fork it right to the front. As Vicino tossed it behind the net. Off the back of Vicino, it drops down. Miscommunication for the Fighting Knights there. Stable got rocked down and the puck got covered. And now, little extracurriculars going on. Some bantering back and forth. Also a little pushing and shoving. Draw again, going to come left side of Ditson. Goldberg makes a change as he replaces Justin Harshaw last second. Quickly won by the Owls, swatted right to Ditson, and he's able to corral it. So that only runs 5 seconds off the board. Another one going to come to Ditson's right here. Is Goldberg tied up with Vicino. Swatting at his feet. Fed through the slot. Behind the net. Big hit going to be laid by Towns Haley. Comes free in front. Vicino couldn't get to clear like he was looking for. In the slot area, Merrill holding on to this one. Drubbed it to Urim, and that will do it for period one here between FAU and Lynn. Another late hit to the arms lane on Urim. And he's waving off FAU as he'll skate to the bench area. The Owls, at least if you're going to win, or at least if you're going to lead, whatever, do it with class. And they're certainly not showing good sportsmanship here at the end of this first period, as they're jabbering at Lynn still. As the intermission clock already going to start. And so we'll look back at that first period. 6 goals for FAU. First 3 came in a 24-second span. Got 1 from Hunter Lippman at 3:36. Then at 3:57, Jake Murphy scored. Turned around David Israel to 4-minute mark just 3 seconds later before at 9:25, Christian Cotter got on the board. 10:51, Israel scores again. And then at 18:19 on the power play, DJ Randall getting his 7th of the year. So 6-0 going to be your score in favor of FAU. 20 minutes in the books, and we'll be back shortly with period 2.